Hello everyone, welcome to Veranda IAS. In this session, we are going to deal with a new topic, that is parts of Indian Constitution. In our previous session, we saw about the schedules of Indian Constitution. Today we will see about the parts of Indian Constitution. First and foremost, what is important for you all to know is this, that Indian Constitution was ready by 26th of November in the year of 1949. 26th of November 1949, Indian Constitution was ready, but we postponed its adoption by 2 months and we adopted it on 26th of January next year in the year 1950. Why so? Because 26th of January is the date when India for the first time demanded Purna Swaraj. Purna Swaraj, 26th January 1929 was the date when Indian National Congress, which was representing India at that time, demanded for the first time from Britishers. And to commemorate that date, we postponed the adoption of Indian Constitution to 26th of January 1950. So on 26th of January in the year 1950, when we adopted our constitution, it had 395 articles and 22 parts, but today we have 25 parts, total 25 parts. Remember this thing, any amendment, if it is made to Indian Constitution, it will not change the numbers of the articles or the numbers of the parts in schedules. For example, we have from 1 to 22 part, we have added 3 parts in between. For example, if we are adding any new article or new part, we will be naming it as 4A, 4B, 4C, 5A, 5B, 5C and so on. So the digits, if you will see, it is same from 1 to 22. Okay, so what is the objective of this lecture? We will be seeing the parts of Indian Constitution. We'll begin. The very first part states about the Union and its territory. At the end of this lecture, you will realize how synchronized is our Indian Constitution. First is Union and its territories, Article 1 to 4. What is India? What all is its territory? What all states are parts of India? The list is in Part 1. Part 2 has who is an Indian? Citizenship. Articles 5 to 11 deals with citizenship. Who is an Indian? Who is a citizen of India? Article 3 tells us that what all rights a citizen of India has. Okay, we have the territory, we have the citizens, but what all are the rights of a citizen? Article 3, Part 3, Article 12 to 35, fundamental rights, very, very important. We will be discussing these rights in detail in our upcoming lectures. Then Part 4 discusses about directive principles of state policy. Now we have given some rights to citizens. Now what's ahead? Now state should have some responsibility. So these directive principles are the recommendations. These directive principles are the directions to the governments of the day, the state government, the central government. Whenever we go for casting vote, what we look for? We look for candidates' eligibility, education, background, and after that we look for the party's manifesto. The party's manifesto has all the things, promises all the things which are in alignation with directive principles. The directive principles are the things which are guiding a government. But these are not mere moral obligations. I repeat it again and again. Reason being, if it is a moral obligation, no one is going to follow it. Why governments are following directive principles? They are non-justiciable. We cannot go to court that the government is not following, not adopting directive principles. Then why governments are following directive principles? Its reason is the governments are bound to, else they will not return in next term. We, the citizens of India, are their source of power, from where they are getting the powers. Next, 4th A deals with fundamental duties. Now we have directed the government how to use their power. Next is citizens should also have some duties. So these are constituted in Part 4th A, Article 51A. Only one article is there. number of fundamental duties is 11. We will be discussing it in detail as well. So part 4A is fundamental duties, article 5111, the duties which are suggested for the Indian citizens to follow. Next we will move ahead. Next is part 5th, the union. Then comes the arrangement of the government. Remember these things, these are very easy to remember. One is union and its territory, second is citizenship, third is fundamental rights, fourth is directive principles of state policy, and fourth A is fundamental duties. Now we will move ahead. Part number 5 is union, articles 52 to 151. If not articles, you have to remember the parts. 6 is states and 7 is union territories. Easy. Union, states and union territories. Union, states and union territories. Part 5, 6 and 7. 7 in congregation but not in number, it is 8. Part 7 got deleted actually. Part 7 got deleted. Remember this thing. I intentionally mispronounced this thing so that you keep it in mind. Part 5 is union, 6 is states and 8 is union territories. No 7 is there. In sequence it is like this, but actually part 8 constitutes union territories. Then we have part 9, panchayats, very important article. These articles you also have to remember, 243 to 243O. Panchayats, Rural Local Self-Government, 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. We have discussed about it again and again. Part 9A, remember, important, not 10th. 9A is municipalities, articles 253P to 243P to 243ZG. ZG, all alphabets got exhausted when we reached till Z, and then we started ZA, ZB, ZC and so on. So from 243P to 243ZG is our part 9th, the municipalities, urban local self-government, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. Next 9th B, cooperative societies. This was added by 97th Constitutional Amendment Act. Cooperative societies, articles 243ZH to 243ZT. Next we have part 10th, that constitutes of scheduled and tribal areas. Article numbers are also important, 244 to 244A, and even this part is very important. Part 10 has scheduled and tribal areas, the list of all the scheduled and tribal areas. Next we have part 11, relations between union and the states, articles 245 to 263, center-state relations. We'll deal this topic in detail as well. Part 11, center-state relations, relations between the union and the states. We will move ahead. Part 12 has finance, property, contracts and suits, articles 264 to 300A. Then comes part 13 that deals with trade, commerce and intercourse within the territory of India. Within the territory of India. Why I am emphasizing on territory of India? Because territory of India is defined in Article 1. It constitutes of the states, the union territories and the territories acquired by India at any time. Territories acquired by Indian government at any time. All these constitute territory of India. Okay, so if we are acquiring any territory of Bangladesh, Pakistan, obviously it is not going to happen, but the provision is there. So that territory will also constitute the part of territory of India. We'll discuss this in Article 1 to 4 when we will be dealing with Article 1 to 4 in another session in detail. Then part 14 is services under the union and the states. All the services under the union and the states come under part 14, that is Article 308 to 323. Part 14A, very important. Mains question has also come from this part, like the tribunals. So Article 14A, very important, tribunals. Article 323A and 323B. We'll be dealing with tribunals also in detail. Next, we have part 15, elections. So all the elections of the central government and the state legislatures are dealt by this part. Center and the state legislatures are dealt by this part, Article 324 to 329A. The Constitution of Election Commission of India, what all are its powers, roles, everything is defined in this part, Article 324 to 329A. Next, 16. Special provisions relating to certain classes, special classes, special provisions for some classes, Article 330 to 342. Next, official language, Part 17, very, very important. Part 17, official languages, Article 343 to 351. Then Part 18, emergency provisions, 352 to 360. This part is also very, very important. We have three types of emergencies in India. Article 352, national emergency, 356, state emergency, and 360, financial emergency. 360, the financial emergency under Article 360 has not been implemented yet till the date. Okay, even once. So remember this. Emergency provinces in Part 18, very important. Next is Part 19, miscellaneous details are there, Article 361 to 367. Part 20, very important again, amendment of the Constitution, Article 368. I told you earlier as well, we will revise. Under Article 368, we have two types of amendments. One is with special majority and second is with special majority along with ratification of states. Along with ratification of states. These are all the provisions which a state should know, which are going to affect the federal structure of Indian polity. That is why the ratification of states is required for amending these provisions. There are two types of amendments under Article 368, that is Part 20. We will move ahead. The next part is Article 21, temporary, transitional and special provisions, and 22 is short title commencement authoritative text in Hindi and repeals, Article 393 to 395. 395 articles were there in our Constitution when Constitution of India was adopted on 26 January 1950. So at least all the facts which I have discussed you should not forget, and the parts on which I put special emphasis are very important from examination point of view. So this was all for today. Today we learnt about all the 25 parts of Indian Constitution. In our next series we will continue from here. Till then, stay tuned, keep studying. Thank you so much.